Oh, yeah! Coming to ya live from WRUEN, Tennessee. It's the Scribbling Woman.
Hi, I'm Nancy Rue, and you're a scribbling woman too, so welcome back. Now take a drag out of your mug of something right now and then set it down, because today something small and surprising may bump your arm. And who wants to waste a good latte, right? For the past month, we've been building from where we were when the new year started. We discovered a word, shaped our intentions, laid out some stepping stones, and convinced ourselves that we are not bad at this in spite of the bohos, the big old hairy obstacles. So we're good to go, right? Well, we are, but we need to be aware that it isn't just the bohos who can lure us from the path with their cunning ways. Today, I'm going to introduce you to the TIWEs, tiny imps who entice. Now, you've encountered a TIWE from time to time, maybe without even recognizing it for what it is. Let's say you're halfway through your draft and the going gets a little rough and suddenly a shiny thing grabs your attention. Look at this sparkly new idea. It says, this could be way more fun right now. Or you're editing your third draft and you've been over this dadgum thing so many times you're sick of it. And all at once, an itty bitty brass band brings in a whole parade of miniature ideas for another book. And it's so uplifting you can't help following it. Or you've just mapped out a whole piece, a novel, a short story, nonfiction book, and that process was delightful. But the prospect of sitting down and actually writing it does not seem delightful until something flitters outside the window of your imagination and sings a charming little song. And there you are planning out another creative pursuit, because this is going to be the one you're going to want to write. Well, TIWEs aren't obstacles, hairy or otherwise, because unlike a boho, a TIWE doesn't make you feel like a hopeless loser. Quite the opposite. In fact, it beckons you to go right where you love to be, where you excel, where writing is the easiest. It doesn't make you want to quit. Exactly the antithesis of that. In its sprightly way, it enchants you into doing more, just not more of what's in front of you. A TIWE isn't something to be ignored, chased away, or told to take its lies elsewhere, because it isn't standing in your way. It's just diverting your way down a path that isn't wrong. It's just not the one to follow right now. And it's hard to resist because it's so darn cute. It's a tiny dazzler shining its light on what you love most about your writerly self. But like so many things, sometimes it serves us well and sometimes it doesn't. At the right time, a TIWE can lead us into places we never dreamed existed. At the inopportune time, it can divert us from finishing what we set out to do. We're going to go more into that part of it in a moment, but for now, will you picture your TIWE as it appears in your imagination? Just close your eyes and get an image. Now, mine has the wings of a hummingbird and a face like a pixie, and it speaks in my own voice when I was 6 years old. Now, here are some TIWEs your fellow scribblies have imagined. It's a tiny kitty with lights on the ends of its eyelashes who said, "I'm so cute. Look at me. Play with me." Another scribbly imagines it as a short, white-bearded hiker with birds in his hair who says, "Come on, let's explore something new." One scribbly just says a pecosaurus, whatever that actually is. And here's my personal favorite. One scribbly says that her TIWE is the character Arnold in the 1970s comedy series Welcome Back Cotter, who was forever waving his arm and saying, "Oh, Mr. Cotter, Mr. Cotter." And just as with the bohos, it is helpful to have an image in our minds and our ears so we know what that TIWE looks like when it dances in our path or swoops in front of us or perches on our shoulder. And can I just say that Jim is probably the best part of this entire podcast. So the first thing we need to ask this TIWE is, "Honey, why are you here?" That's an important question, because sometimes a new idea is one we need to jump on right now, and sometimes it's a TIWE that appears for one of these reasons. Number one, you're restless because this is not the part of writing that you like or that comes easily to you. We talked about those in our last episode, number 47. A TIWE wants you to have fun all the time. Or number two, it appears when you're anxious because things aren't unfolding smoothly and you're afraid what you're writing is a hot mess. A TIWE doesn't want you to feel bad because this over here, that'll make you feel better. Or number three, you're convinced you're not meant to be a writer because it's hard work and you were under the mistaken illusion that it's not supposed to be difficult ever. A TIWE isn't a worker bee. It doesn't understand why you'd hang around one flower for all this time. It's more of a butterfly who flits from one to the other. Or, and this is true for all of us scribbling women, when we're doing something creative, that activates and opens up the whole imaginative part of us. So, of course, all kinds of imps are going to come darting out, full of energy and enthusiasm. We don't want to stifle them, so we'll talk in a moment about how to get them to work for us without squashing their little spirits. But first, let's ask ourselves some test questions when something small and delightful tries to draw you from your current intention in an almost magical way. Like, how could that be bad? Question number one, does it add anything to what's in front of you right now? Is it a character trait you hadn't seen before in your current protagonist? Is it a little plot twist, just what you need in that spot on what you're working on right now? Is it a piece of dialogue you hadn't considered that's really going to move this scene forward? If not, then promise it you'll come back and play with it later. Question number two, does it move you forward in the direction you're already going? Maybe it's a bit of motivation to restore your momentum, or a next stepping stone that wasn't there before, or a reminder of why you love this character so much. If it's not doing any of those things, ask it to just keep dancing over here and you'll join it further on down the line. And question number three, does it make this current project delightful again? Does it give you new energy for what you're doing right now? Does it nudge you to stretch out your writing session another 30 minutes and then pull a frozen pizza out of the freezer, pop it into the oven just this one time? Or does it make you do the happy dance just because you're a writer? If it doesn't do any of those things, then give it a slice of pizza to keep it busy while you do what is yours to do. Keep that TIWE happy until the next project. And that's the thing. A TIWE may very well be just the thing you need for a future story or nonfiction work. So you don't want to flick it away like an annoying mosquito. Our intention is to work with it, which means giving it a place to land until you are ready for it. So these are some methods that I actually use, as do some of my fellow scribblies. So this month and next month, I'm taking some time between writing projects to do two things. One is to promote the interactive companion, and the other is to really take some time to ponder what's next for me after this fourth book is done. So many things I want to do in moving in that direction. So I have a dry erase board in my writing studio, and it is filled with, I could do this, I could do this, I could do this. And every time a new idea comes to me, I just put it on there, and then I take each one as it pops up so that they're not all dancing around in my head, and I'm not, looking a little bit skitsy in these 2 months of pondering time. Now, as for my next novel, which is book 4 in the Footnotes collection, that's Lorette's story, I have a TIWE basket, and it's probably too big now for me to carry up the stairs because it has all of the ideas, the little pieces of paper, the books, the little TIWEs for Lorette's story. And every once in a while, the TIWE peeks its little head over the edge of the basket and says, now, and I just say, not now, but you've got everything you need for when it happens. Now, in general, just ideas that just pop in and I don't know why, I keep a journal called Brilliant ideas. And it is actually full because, of course, I am brilliant. You can keep a what if document on your computer. I have another dry erase board for that because I like the tactile thing. Again, picture your TIWE as you have imagined it, perched on top of that dry erase board, marker in hand, waiting for the next entry, or nestled among the notes in that basket and peeking over the top and whispering, now is it time? What else you got for me? Or picture it just riffling the pages of that journal, making sure you know that there's a lot you can do ahead. Now, in the Scribbling Woman Interactive Companion, we refer to this in chapter 21 as using a butterfly net to keep these TIWEs, only we didn't call them that then because I just made that up this week. But we keep them from disappearing before we're ready for them. And my scribbling sidekicks who collaborated with me on this book offer some more suggestions. Abigail keeps notes on her phone. Janelle uses sticky notes, not pieces of paper that go the way that all pieces of paper go and never to be seen again. Pam keeps an ideas journal. Colleen scratches stuff in a notebook. Sarah texts herself. And, are you ready for this one? Janai codes her brain the way she does when she's designing a website. And if you have no idea what that means, you are not alone. The challenge is that this isn't intuitive for writers with creative minds that stop spinning. It can even be anxiety producing when we have a dozen TIWEs twittering about and we don't want them to go away. This is the way playwright Sarah Greig and fellow Scribbly puts it in the Interactive Companion. Capturing ideas is like walking 5 different dogs on various size leashes. They're all tangled up, but I can't let go of any of them because what if I need that dog? That's how it feels. So we find a way, we find a butterfly net, we find a place for them to land so we can keep them safe and keep them being creative while we do what is ours to do. The bottom line really is that we need to keep our current project as fascinating as we can, even when we've been working on it for freaking ever. And that's what we're going to talk about in our next episode, number 49. That way we can let the TIWEs boogie while we do what is ours to do in this moment. For now, imagine your TIWE. Recognize it for what it is, give it a place to land, and let it give you things to look forward to as you do what is in front of you. And then just thank goodness that you get to be the scribbly boss. And until next time, Scribblies, scribble on.